Hi everyone. This is Wendy, and I'm back again. Today, I'm going to be talking about a very sensitive topic, something that's going to make some people maybe think a little bit, but not to worry. I'm going to talk about it because there are very few people I think who really take time to address this issue. Yeah, I'm just going to maybe I'll do the first part today, and I'll be doing parts and sections about it. Yes, I'm going to be talking about um, dating, relationships, but not the kind of dating that everybody does talk about. What am I talking about? Yes, I'm going to be addressing the issue of dating single parents. That's either male or female. If you are a female contemplating on dating someone who has children, or a male contemplating on dating a lady with children, yes, I'm just going to address that issue. Yes. Told you it's something that nobody really talks about. So in this part, I'm going to be talking to the people with children, and they think of dating other people who are not the biological parents of those children. And I'm also going to be talking about those other people who decide to date the single parents with the children. Okay, yes. So to begin with, okay, anybody who's going to decide or who's going to think about dating someone who has a child which is not theirs, it's very important to put in mind that you have to first imagine it. Actually, you have to think about, regardless of what you feel for that particular person, you need to keep it in mind to say, think about the child. Okay, because no matter what, any parent will always be a part of that child's life. So can you really love that child as your own? That's the first question that you have to ask yourself. Think about it. Take time if you have to, but just keep it. Just have it in mind to say, okay, can I manage to love this child as my own? Think about everything else that comes with parenthood. Every angle, every section. I'm talking about the protection. I'm talking about the care. Everything. Just think about it. Can I manage to be there for this child like it was mine? Okay. And after you answer that question, actually, that's when we even go to the next section. If you say yes, then yeah, other things have to follow. If you say no, then please, with all due respect, no matter what you feel for that person and no matter how much you relate, it would be best for you to just pass and find someone else who doesn't have children, obviously, because it's very heartbreaking and sad where you like, imagine you have a child, you date somebody, and then you only later on that person decides maybe to withdraw or change their mind or something, and probably you just find out the reasons were because of that child. It really feels bad. And then when it comes to the person with children, I mean the people with children who decide to date other people, the first thing that you need to ask yourself is that, am I going to find time to be with this person, to make this person feel important and feel like they have a place in my life? That's a very important question that you need to ask yourself. Why? Because most of the times, like I said, the child has already taken most part of the time. Okay, they are more like first priority in your life. So if you're going to involve someone else when it comes to dating, you have to also ask yourself if you're going to have time for that person, you're going to be able to give them the attention that they need, and can you manage to divide your time between your child and your I mean your partner. Because even those who are married with children, some of the times they grow apart when children start coming in. Now in this particular situation, the children are already there, or the child is already there, so meaning it's already starting on those grounds whereby there's already kind of divided attention. So now you ask yourself, can I manage to make time, to make efforts, to create time, attention, and affection for this person. If you find out to say no, you only have time for your child or your children, then with all due respect, let that person pass. No matter how much supportive they are, no matter how much you like, it's best to have honest conversations with everybody before you can actually move ahead and make certain decisions, because trifling of hearts is a very, very dangerous thing to do, because people get to involve their emotions, they get to involve their feelings in these things, and so you don't play or joke around with people's emotions. It's better to have honest conversations right from the word go before you think of doing anything. Yes. And what's the next part I need to talk about? It's for the same people. Now I'm going back to the other part of you dating someone with children. One thing you need to find out, more especially with single mothers, there are very few single fathers whom I know, or in society, who just live with their kids. I mean, just the dad himself and maybe his kid and his kids. There are very few. Most of them, they'll be maybe single dad, but the child maybe will be with the parents, or maybe they will have someone else support. But it's a very common thing where the single mothers will be staying with their child, their children, and all that. So what I'm going to say is that it's not an easy thing to raise children by yourself. Just by design, God designed that a family should involve a mother, a father, and children. Yes, that's the original design for God. But because of many circumstances and foreseen things, usually that's not the case. So what do we do? Meaning, of course, we need to go back to Him for wisdom on how we can manage to go around these situations that happen in our lives. But one thing you need to put in mind when you are going, more especially for a single mom, you need to know that it's not that easy. There are times when she's going to be emotionally stressed or drained because maybe she can't manage to put food on the table, or not that, or maybe because she can't balance this or that, or because children just become like so stressful sometimes that they need this, they need that. I mean, in terms of attention, care, and all that. So you need to be ready to be that person's support, the same way you would support a woman with your children. Just like I said in the first place, if you can't take that child as your own, meaning that's coming into that child's life and being the father figure or the mother figure to that child when you are with that person. And I'm talking to those who are planning to marry these people, not actually, don't even date for jokes or for playing. When you are dating someone, you should have at least a vision and purpose to marry that person. So I'm addressing to those people who are contemplating marrying someone with children already that are not theirs. So you should be able to step up, okay? You should be able to help, emotionally supporting that person, being with that person, and don't be afraid to come. To try and maybe discipline, try and maybe support the child. Or you can do, like I said, have honest conversations. Okay, talk to this person. Okay, sometimes just ask. Okay, maybe if you feel, sometimes there's that thing where there's someone is being overprotective, maybe of their children. Sometimes those are natural instincts, which if talked about can just you can reach into an understanding. Okay, you ask, is there anything that you need? And sometimes if you really love and care for somebody, certain things you won't even really have to be reminded. You ask someone, how are you faring with the school for this person? How are you faring with one or two things? You find out, you hear the person's view. If you want to chip in to help, or maybe if you're seeing maybe the child has a challenge in a certain area and you feel like you want to reach out to help, talk to the mom, talk to the dad, and ask them. Okay, and just like I said in the first place, that even the people with children need to be considerate if they are to date someone without children, that if they needed to come in terms of helping when it comes to parental issues, you need to have an open mind, guys. I know it's not easy but to just let your child with anyone else, but in the first place, you can't be with someone if you don't trust them. And I mean trusting them with your life, with your child's life, and with your relatives, lives if you are to marry that person. So meaning that when someone tries to chip in, don't act all overprotective and defensive. Have communication. You communicate and allow that person to also feel like they are a part of the family. Because what's likely to happen if you put barriers on or become overprotective, that person is going to feel pushed away, like the circle is just between you and your child and that person cannot come in, which would be dangerous, meaning you won't really enjoy your relationship, because that person will always be holding back. Even when they want to say something, sometimes maybe they've noticed a weakness with your child, they might not even come out to help. And I'm very much sure that there are a lot of people who can testify that the best they've ever had in their lives, in their childhood memories, was with their step parents. Yes. So if you don't give that person to have that chance with your child, how then do you wish you're going to stay in the family when you actually do marry that person? Yeah. So I think for today I'm going to end here, but we'll call this part 1, and I'll come back with part 2, and I think maybe we'll be going on and on and on from people's experiences and from the response from this video. Please, you can write in the comment section below the questions that you would have, or the observations or experiences that you've had in regards to dating someone with children, or if you have children, in dating someone who's not the biological parent of your child. What was your experience, and what kind of advice can you give, or what points do you think can be brought up as a single mom, single dad trying to date? Because I'm very much, one thing I know for sure is that it's a very difficult thing to date after you have a child. But I didn't say impossible, no, I said difficult. So you can comment down below what you've experienced and what you've gone through, and then I can try to include it in the next video that I make. Otherwise, bye bye for now. Make good choices for your lives, and for the parents, let's do all the best we can for our children in order for us to raise great citizens and children for the cross. Thank you very much. Bye bye.